Good morning, guys. It's been about 3 weeks, almost a month since my last video. The last one I said I was just going to kind of reconnect back with nature, with Mother, and I have been doing that, doing a lot of walking and meditating and just being one with uh, with the earth, getting my shoes off and for as long as I can. Mother's kind of cold this time of year, so I look forward to spring to where I can spend more time reconnecting. But I'll still continue doing my walks and just trying to ground myself. It felt really good. Anyway, I haven't been watching, any news and just trying to stay away from electronics as much as possible. And so recently I booted everything up again and started kind of looking and seeing what's been going on since I've taken my little hiatus. And lots of stuff is going on with our government, Trump, with all that stuff that's going on. And I'm not a Trump supporter, nor am I'm not a supporter of any world governments. And as long as that actually came from my Jehovah's Witness background of not getting involved with politics, no voting and all of that. But even now, with my new mindset away from Jehovah's Witnesses, I still have that core belief that the world's government is not going to do anything for us. I really believe that the rulers that are in offices today are just pawns. They're just pawns. The ruler of the system of things, we know who he is. He is the master manipulator, the master of all lies, Satan, Lucifer. Maybe not Lucifer, because I'm learning more about. It's so complicated, guys. When you start really breaking down the Bible, I mean, really breaking it down, and not only reading the Bible, but getting these other older texts and just there's so much there. There's so much there for everyone, but you have to want it. You have to search for it. And I've said this several times in other videos, let the hearer hear and the seer see. And what I'm learning is that this message is not for everyone at this time. What I'm understanding is there is a great awakening happening, but I'm just beginning to come to the understanding that there are people that are like in their 80s and 90s that think like me, like us, truth seekers, that have been awake for a long time in this dimension, and that people are awakening in almost shifts, so to speak, in waves. But ultimately, everyone is going to awaken to how we as a human race have been enslaved and misled and played as puppets, basically, to keep us divided, to keep us fighting, to keep all these different ideas in the Bible. And I mentioned that in another video of, I have the truth, you have the truth. Everybody's got the truth. Every religion has the truth. And it kind of reminded me of this joke when I was a young adult. I remember seeing this this cartoon character, this cartoon, and it was in heaven. It had the clouds and everything, and it had, I guess Saint Peter or somebody ushering new people that had the newly ascended into heaven, and it had different groups. And as they were walking, it had a big sign that says, "Shh." And they're like, "Why do we have to be quiet?" And they said, "Those are Jehovah's Witnesses. They think they're the only ones up here." I cracked up. And then after I had my awakening and I started, once I got out of the Jehovah's Witness religion, I started checking other different religions out because I was searching, trying to find where I belonged. Because I've always had this desire inside that longed for a spiritual connection. That's the only way I can describe it. But I was never able to find it because I was told that it was in the Kingdom Hall. I never found it in there. So after I got out of the Kingdom Hall, out of the Jehovah's Witness faith, I started to look elsewhere because that was taboo. You weren't supposed to go to other churches at all. You couldn't say, for instance, we were supposed to invite people to come to the Kingdom Hall all the time. But if we were invited to go to their place of worship, that was not allowed. And if you did go, you would be counseled for going into a church other than the Kingdom Hall. Why? I was told personally that it would be considered spiritual fornication. If my friend invited me, at the time she was, what was she? Pentecostal, and she wanted me to go to her church. And she says, if you go to my church, I will go to yours, or vice versa. I'll go to yours, but you have to promise that you'll come to mine. So I went and I asked one of the elders, could I do that to try and get her? But she wanted me to go to hers, and he said, no, you can't do that. He also cautioned me that demons could jump on me in different churches. Knowing what I know now, all the demons are in the Kingdom Hall worshiping Satan. Wow. Anyway, where was I going with this? Just searching. That's where I was. A truth searcher, a truth seeker. I search for truth. And when I first started the journey, when it first popped into my head that the possibility that I had reptilian DNA, the whole Sumerian text thing, really weirded me out. Really weirded me out. And if these texts are true, these Sumerian texts, that means that we all have reptilian DNA in us. And it will sort of explain why we have such a hard time, even though in our core we want to do well, we want to do the right thing, but it's a constant battle. We have to fight this flesh. We have to fight this flesh. And I heard someone mention, they said, you want to know who your worst enemy is? The one that you have to conquer? He mentioned to go into the mirror and look. That's who you need to conquer. This flesh. The sinful, imperfect flesh. Within us is that spark or that light of the Father. That Christ light is within us. So we have that God light inside of us. But we also have that other side of us. And that's what Jesus, the Christ, Yeshua, and I'm not so hung up about the name anymore because I know who I'm talking about. That light is within us all the time. And we have to connect to that spirit in us, that Christ within us. And we'll be able to do what the Christ did when he was here. That is so comforting to me, to know that, I mean, how wonderful is the Christ, our Father, to get that message for us with all the mess that's in the Bible, all the deception and the more than one God in the Bible. It's all been masterfully planned to try and keep us away from the truth. I'm so grateful, so grateful that for some reason I was chosen to be awakened at this time. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. Far cry from where I was a year ago. So much has transpired over this year, guys. I can't even begin to tell you the growth. The growth. It's amazing of what truth will do. Truth will set you free. And there are things that are happening to me. The only way I can describe it is like spiritual stuff, like these little video clip visions I get and stuff like that. I haven't had any more of those since I've been on my regarding that. But I did have another one, really odd one. Actually kind of scared me initially. I'll share that with you guys another time about that particular thing that happened. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of update you. I'm back online again. I encourage everyone to do that, to really go out for a walk. Go sit under a tree, wherever you can find the tree. Reconnect with the earth as much as you can. And then too, I told you I've been away from the news and all that, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff happening. That's where I got off on a tangent. I was watching politics and what's happening there, and then also kind of picking up and looking at the skies again. I didn't post any videos about it. I'd made a couple of videos about what I was seeing. One in particular, the other day I got up and I saw a beautiful lavender sunrise. I've never seen a lavender sunrise. But anyway, I'll upload those videos at some point. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm back on. My journey continues, my walk, journey, quest, whatever you want to call it. It's wonderful. I'm happy to be here. For all of you others that are on your walks and your journeys, pop in and say where you are on your walk. Anything unusual happening to you, like the ringing in the ears, or just whatever you got. Anyway, till next time, guys, love and light, my family. Love and light, love and light. Love your family, love your friends, love your enemies. Love, 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 love. Love conquers all. And remember, God is love, and there's no darkness in him at all. Later, babies.